Why, thanks for staying with us. It's still Midday Live now. Time for us to do business with me, Nana Ikia Mensa Brampa. This afternoon, we're looking at the foreign direct investments, looking at how much Ghana is hitting as the month of September. Well, provisional figures are coming in, and we understand that from January to September, we have hit at least $1.3 billion, and this is according to the Ghana Investments Promotion Center. Now, the amount represents projects registered with the center by foreign investors and represents about 100% jump from what was recorded for the same period last year. FDI inflows in 2012 also represented 8.09% of Ghana's GDP, according to the World Bank. Now we look at something on banking, and the Vice President, Pakusi Mr. Arthur, says the requirement by the various banks before opening accounts for prospective customers is a major disincentive. Now, over 70% of Ghana's working population is unbanked, according to the Bank of Ghana. Edward Kwabi has more.
Know your customers. KYCs are basic requirements banks look out for before registering prospective clients. In Ghana, this includes any of the national identification cards, utility bills, and any other relevant document as may be demanded by the bank. Deliberating on encouraging banking amongst the global working population at the World Economic Forum in India, Vice President Kwesi Mr. Arthur said this was a disincentive.
It's something that is creating incredible problems for us, the banks, in the way they are penalized by the US system for non-compliance. I'll give you a number of examples. You have a permanent address, and you know our address system is not like the ones in Western countries. So it almost excludes people who do not have a permanent address. It requires you have an identity, you have a passport. And so people who don't have a passport, you have to be literate. And so consistently, the KYC requirement are taking out people who are tenants who do not pay utility bills, and therefore get a receipt for utility are out of the system. People who are unemployed and therefore do not pay taxes are out of the system. The people who don't own their own property and therefore have property taxes and so on. So these requirements are running against the developments that we want to make.
He spoke on efforts made in introducing rural banking and Susu collection as a means of getting more people into banking.
We have a set of banks that are not big banks in the form of the standard banks that also provide financial services to customers, to them. So we have standard banks, and then we have rural banks, we have non-bank financial institutions, and at the lowest level we have Susu collectors, who are more like a cooperative that of poor people.
Other speakers, including the governor of Bank of Sri Lanka, also called for innovative ways of getting a larger number of global population banked. Currently, about 70% of Ghana's working population is unbanked, and this is what government is seeking to reverse. Edward Kwabi, New Delhi, TV3 News.
Well, so I don't know if you would agree with the Vice President that opening an account with any bank is quite cumbersome. You would want to share your experience with us on our social media platforms. It's Twitter, Facebook News, on TV3. And still talking about banking, let's look at what the interbank market looks like for this afternoon, talking about the Ghana cedi. Well, checking on various banks here in the country. This is the base rates coming in from the central bank. We understand that the cedi has fallen collectively to all four major trading counterparts, and the local currency or the local unit saw at least some 30 peso decline there for the cedi to the dollar on the interbank markets. Now, looking at the figures, we see 3 Ghana cedis 19 pesos for the buying price on the interbank market, with 3 Ghana cedis 20 pesos there for the selling price. That is the cedi to that of the dollar. We've had some analysts as well as some economists also predicting that with this recent happenings, we've seen some steady performance there for the cedi. Would it really reflect on the policy rate? While some are expecting a stability there for the policy rate, talking about 90%, 19%. Others are also expecting some 50 units adjustments upwards there. What would it be? I'm sure the central bank would give us all the detail tomorrow, Wednesday, there on the central bank. But that'll do for business this afternoon.